Hello, welcome to the Myrita Minutes. For those that are new here, welcome. To those that have joined me on my journey, thank you. I just want to take a few minutes to talk about Angela Oakley and what she's chosen to share. Now, if you all watched this past episode, this past Sunday, Real Housewives of Atlanta, um, I want to say it was season 16, episode 16. The segment that I want to talk about is the segment that where Kelly and Charles Oakley had a cook-off with their waffles. During this cook-off, there was a guy named Marcus that came up to talk to Angela while she was sitting down there at this waffle competition. He comes over to her, mind you, he's mic'd up. He comes over to her and says, "Hi, if you have a few minutes, I want to talk to you about something. You'll want to know this or want to hear this." Now I'm paraphrasing. I can't exactly remember exactly how he said it. So she looks at him as like, okay, do I know you? His her thing is she's trying to place him somewhere. And he was like, "No, you don't know me, but I know your husband." And then I want to say he proceeds to say that he um has frequented his restaurants. He owns a restaurant, and that Charles Oakley has been there with another woman. So she's like in awe, like she's caught off guard. Mind you, Charles is standing right there. He's not even acknowledging the man has said anything. Um, the two ladies beside her, Drew and Phaedra, they're like looking as if what's going on over there. At least more so Drew, not so much Phaedra. Phaedra was looking like that's what she was doing. Um, they were cheering, saying, "Oh, okay," because they had finally come to the point where they were doing a taste test of the waffles to see who won, but they called it a tie, and they were cheering. They was like, "Cheers!" Blah 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 blah. So the guy in the back, that Marcus, who initially had walked up to Angela, was like, "I have a cheer. If your name is Angela Oakley, your husband is cheating on you." Now he said this for the whole venue to hear. However, Charles was acting like he ain't hear him. He was the only one, I think, in the place that didn't hear him. I mean, Charles was like, you know how you look up and you see somebody that you probably don't want to be bothered with. You'll look up and you try to hurry up and look away. That's what Charles was given at that moment, right? But anyway, to make a long story short, Angela Oakley has this interview with Carlos where she reveals who was behind that ordeal. And y'all won't believe this. She ain't been on the show more than 10 days and she's already pulling stunts and shows. Why do you have to do that to people? First of all, it's none of your business what Charles is doing. Second of all, marriage is already hard, okay? That you need other people coming in throwing stuff in the mix. She expresses to Carlos King that once she talked to Marcus, I don't know, she found out all this stuff about him. So she said, "You're going to tell me who told you to come in there, or else I have this." So she went armed with whatever he had going on that he didn't want out. So that's how she got the name of the guy, I think, that paid him to set it up. But the guy, she keeps saying that they're from Athens. Doesn't necessarily mean that Phaedra knows him, but Phaedra is from Athens too. And supposedly, I think it was either her brother or someone went to school with Phaedra's sisters or went to school with Phaedra. I don't remember the story, but she explains it to Carlos King. So let's take a listen.
You believe Phaedra started this rumor that Charles is still cheating on you.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
And you know this because
Because of the person she used to start the rumor told me it was her.
do you believe this person telling the truth?
Yes, he had a lot to lose if he didn't. And it's just who he is and things that he done in his past. He didn't want to come to light. So I found out about it. And I was just like, you're going to tell me, what happened and who sent you. And he beat around the bush and he just said, I'm going to tell you. And he did tell us. And then there was just this connection to Athens, Georgia. I'm like, I've never met anybody from Athens, Georgia, ever. And I've been in Georgia 20 years. Never, I never. And to be in a room with 4 people from Athens at the same time, I was just like, okay. But yeah, he did tell me. And I do 100% believe him. I do, because everything made sense. Like, your sister went to high school with her brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you come in this
Do you believe
with Phaedra's brother, I'm like, okay. So he's like, Angela, I told you the truth. And he did.
how did you feel about that once that was all discovered?
I was disappointed because I was told, get to know Phaedra. She's coming back, get to know her. And I kind of looked to her for information. Like, tell me how this works. I'm new to reality TV. Tell me the inroads. Tell me the inside out. And, she was a source of information. So for that to happen, I'm just like, yeah, it was a breach of trust. And, I didn't appreciate that at all. And it's like, why? The truth is so much better than fiction. Like, why do you have to lie on my husband? Like, let's just talk about the things that we've been through. And when me and Charles took this show, we were like, we're going to talk about everything we've been through. All of it. Because we didn't want to be ambushed with anything. So let's let the world know. And for her to create a lie, it was just... It was devious. High school with her brother.
I don't know what's going on with Phaedra. It's like she hasn't learned anything. Like, why are you going through this thing about bringing or judging up? And even if it's not a lie, why do you feel like you need to throw something in the mix? Like I said, marriage is already hard enough without any outsiders trying to throw a monkey wrench in your situation. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And I don't know if they need to allow Phaedra to come back for season 17, because if this is any truth to it, she need not come back. They need to sit her down. Her 10 days, she messed up. You came back, you felt like you could add value, and you failed. Getting in the mix in someone's marriage is none of your business. If they've learned to deal with each other, regardless of whatever Charles is doing, because evidently Angela's in therapy, and there's a segment of a sneak peek where they show her talking to her therapist, and she explains to the therapist what happened at the waffle cook off. And the therapist has been through, I guess, whatever Charles and Angela, she's aware of whatever they've gone through. And Angela explains to her, now, it took, based on everything they have been through, it took Angela a long time to get to a place where she trusted him again. It only takes one person to plant a seed, and then your mind is back to where it was, square one. And I felt for her in that moment, because she said it took her a while to get to the place where she believes him. And even if she don't, she ain't gonna tell us no more that therapy ain't working. I think Carlos did ask her, well, do you believe him? And she said, yeah, I believe him. Or the therapist might have asked her that. I can't remember who asked her. But she said, yeah, she believed that he was telling the truth, that Charles was not doing anything. And like I said, even if he was, and he chooses not to tell his wife just to save face or save his marriage or not to bring any havoc, I'm sure if Charles Oakley's past has anything to do about it. He don't need no help wrecking his relationship. He can do that all by himself if that's what he's about now in these current times. I am so disappointed in Phaedra because I thought she was going to be light. Remember when she was on Married to Medicine? She didn't really do no work on Married to Medicine, but she was always light. She just contributed to the conversation when she felt like she could fit in. It was Toya that was edging her on, like, you ain't doing no work. Like, we don't know nothing about you. All you doing is sitting amongst us. But she didn't get involved in all of that. If anything, she was trying to be a help to those ladies. She said, and I will distinctly remember Phaedra saying, had I been on Married to Medicine first, maybe I would have still been married, because she felt that that group supported marriages. Yet, here you go, back over to the Real Housewives of Atlanta and try to tear a marriage down. If this is true, what Angela is saying. How you going to be on one show talking about you support marriages and you felt like you would probably still be married if they had been your support system, and there is no support system on Real Housewives of Atlanta? You know why? Because you are the support system. Angela is the only one other than Portia and Shamia that are married. Everybody else is going through a divorce. Drew. Oh, I forgot. What's Brie Edie was married too, I guess. Yeah, she was married also. So, I mean, but my point being, Phaedra, you come from Married to Medicine where you called them girls, them ladies, they're not girls, where you called them ladies mean girls. You said they were ugly, they didn't look like nothing. Well, their fashions were a little slacking, but okay. But obviously, they're real. I like Married to Medicine because I think they're all real. I don't think nobody's over there is fake. However, Faye, you come across as real fake. The fact that you gaslighted those women talking about, oh, maybe I should have been here first. Maybe I would have still been married, because you all are more supportive with marriages. And then you go straight over to Angela Oakley, pay some off the wall bum. He may not be a bum. Pay some off the wall person just to come in there and wreak havoc. Solely disappointed. Solely disappointed. Tell me what y'all think. Let me read some of these comments. Somebody said, this is what happens when you let Phaedra back in the fold. Kick her out again, and this time for good. I'm telling you, people are feeling what I'm feeling. Phaedra has a dark spirit, no matter the sweet Southern Belle acts. I love how untouchable Angela is regardless of the shade. Angela is so cool and classy. She is. She really is. Therapy must be working wonders for her, because anybody else would have been ready to throw blows. And you could tell by the way she reacted when she saw him. Because she was like, oh, I know him. Phaedra has been caught lying on Candy and Kenya. Not to mention she went and tried to talk to Nene's sisters behind her back. She will sink to any level to sell a show. And production played into it all because that man was allowed to approach them during filming and seemed to have a mic on. Yeah, he was mic'd up. So production was in on it. That's what I said. Production is trash too. They are. I don't like Truly Original because they are trash. Angela is deflecting. The ladies have been speculating about Charles' cheating ways before Phaedra came around. Well, yeah, they all. Braditi said he had a baby, I think, right? Did Phaedra say in her confessional on Married to Medicine that she wishes she were on that show when she was with Apollo, because the girls would have been more supportive on the institution of marriage rather than the girls of Roa? I just said that. Oh my God. And look at what the half she is promoting back on Roe and attempted delusion of the marriage. Oh my God. This person read my mind. Or I read theirs. I mean, had the same. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. No wonder Phaedra was looking nervous when Angela said they ran down on homeboy who spread the rumor. Did she look nervous? I don't know if she looked nervous. But that's not acceptable, Phaedra. And I feel like Bravo needs to give her walking papers. She failed. Give her walking papers. How about we just start out brand new with fresh faces? Fresh faces in Atlanta. It's got to be 6 ladies that have a little bit of wealth, that have a little bit of couth, that don't have a lot of drama, that's on positive vibes only, that somebody can recruit for the show. It's got to be. All the people in Atlanta, come on. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Should Phaedra remain on the show, even though she's already let us know she's coming back season 17? Should she be allowed to come back after pulling this stunt? I pray that it's not true. I pray that, Angela's just speculating and the guy's lying. I'm praying. But for some reason, I feel like she ain't. With that being said, y'all, please, everyone, be blessed. Peace.